even though Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial was huge, there's a lot of eyes on it, and people overwhelmingly supported Johnny Depp at the end, I still thought it was really crazy how there was a lot of like celebrities, people, you know, who just don't want to publicly support Johnny Depp because they're like afraid of the backlash. I don't know. I always thought it was really crazy. So when I see like a celebrity, you know, for example, Helena Bonham Carter, when she says that like, oh, she thinks like Johnny Depp was vindicated after the trial, I feel like even that is controversial. Even though a lot of people don't think it's not controversial. You know, we don't think it's controversial is because we watched the trial and we saw what went down. The narrative that Amber Heard and her team were pushing was completely just reversed. It was the most wildest, craziest reverse I've ever fucking seen happening in lifetime over the course of what was it, like 8 to 9 months or something. But I thought this article was pretty interesting because it was like you actually have a public figure that is, you know, supporting Johnny Depp. Like even with Rihanna supporting Johnny Depp, that had like a lot of backlash. But here's the thing though, I don't know if it's like true backlash or not, because you know what we find out with like Elon Musk taking over Twitter, you know, you see that you find out that Amber Heard's followers, a lot of them were bots. I think like Umbrella Guy said that like, fuck, it was like a high percentage, like almost like 40% of her followers were bots or something. I think that's what he said. I might have misquoted. If anyone knows, feel free to correct me. But I feel like, I don't know, it's just fucking wild. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Fucking make a pint. Maybe Elon will send her to Mars. I agree. I don't know. There's just a lot of really crazy shit that like happens and you just don't know what's like real or not, because I was actually really surprised too to hear that Amber had a lot of support, but then you find out that like, you know, Amber has never lost followers since the trial started, or I don't think for a while, I think, right? Until Elon Musk took over Twitter, and then like I guess he got rid of all the bots and shit like that. And that's when she lost like a fuck ton of followers, and maybe that's why she doesn't have a Twitter account anymore. I don't know. It's just a lot of really crazy shit. So like I don't really, like the people that we saw supporting Amber Heard, we don't know if they're even real or not. They could just be fake, right? But yeah, just going back a little bit. Sorry, let me backtrack. So we were talking about the bots, Amber Heard, Rihanna. Holy shit, my mind is just all over the place right now. It's like completely disorganized. But yeah, even with all the hate that Rihanna was getting on Twitter and stuff like that, like who knows if it was just actually real hate? Like how many percentage of the people were actually like real people, or like people who were actually like bots and stuff like that. But I thought it was really cool that Helena like, you know, supported Johnny Depp and stuff. And I figured that she would, because, you know, they've been co-stars. They've had many movies together. Johnny Depp is like really cool with her. I don't think they were husband and wife, but I know they have kids together. She has kids with like Tim Burton and stuff. But it's still good to see like, you know, people supporting Johnny Depp in the public eye and stuff, because there's always, you know, backlash, and sometimes people don't want to be in controversy and involved in all that stuff. What do I think of Elon taking over Twitter? Well, here's what I know so far, because I don't know if I know the complete picture, but here's what I know so far. He's getting rid of bots. I don't know if the checkmark thing, I think it's kind of weird how you can now buy your way to get like a monthly subscription to have like a checkmark next to your name. I think that's kind of weird, but I heard that he was doing it so Twitter can like raise money or something. I don't know. I think the checkmark thing is kind of weird, but I don't know the whole like economics behind it. I think it's good that we're getting rid of bots and all that stuff. I think it's good that there are certain ideas that aren't allowed to be expressed. I think it's okay to have like open discourse about it on Twitter. Now, like if it's like extreme bigotry, hatred and stuff like that, then yeah, fuck that shit. But I think it's really important to be able to discuss like important things without having worried about getting your account like, you know, deleted and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think so far it seems okay. But I don't know too much about it. I don't really keep up with the whole like Elon news as much and like the Twitter stuff. I've only heard like bits and pieces here and there. So I don't have like the whole picture or anything like that. I heard it's pretty hilarious. I don't do tweeters. Yeah, I have a Twitter account, but I don't really go on Twitter. My Twitter account is just basically like, hey guys, there's a new video up on YouTube. Okay, bye. That's it. And even I stopped doing that recently. I got really lazy. You've been observing the Amber supporters on TikTok. It's an interesting crowd. Oh, anything interesting to say about them? Oh yeah, let's get to this article. Sorry, I just went on a fucking rant and tangent. Let's do this. Helena Bonham Carter believes JD is completely vindicated after Amber Heard trial, which I completely fucking agree. In a candid new interview, Helena Bonham Carter defended her former co-star Johnny Depp after his highly publicized defamation trial with ex-Amber Heard. I think he's fine now. I tried to get access to the original article, but it was behind a paywall, and I was like, nah, I'm good. So we'll just read a recap of the article instead. Helena Bonham Carter sees a comeback in Johnny Depp's future. I agree. I think he's doing a really fucking strong comeback, especially since after the trial. Like all the things he's getting involved in, the positivity, the support. And although the Pirates of the Caribbean star was put under the microscope during the defamation trial with ex-Amber Heard, one of his former co-stars believe Johnny's on the way back to big screen. I think he's completely vindicated. Helena told Times UK, I think he's totally fine now. I think he's fine now, totally fine. And it's wild to me that a statement like this can be found as controversial. I don't know. I feel like the trial was very clear and cut. I feel like it was very black and white. There was no ambiguity in the trial. It was just like, wow, like this happened, and a lot of people kind of saw Johnny Depp's side of the story. Is she on TikTok? I don't know. I have no idea. When asked if Johnny and Amber's latest trial was the pendulum of #MeToo swinging back, the Harry Potter actress replied, my view is that she got on that pendulum. Oof, is this a call out? That's the problem with these things, that people will jump on the bandwagon because it's a trend and to be the poster girl for it. Oh shit, I actually did not see this quote here. Oh god damn, she actually, damn. I mean, I think a lot of us agree with that, especially seeing everything that went down in the trial. All right. Back in July, jury ruled that Amber was liable, defaming Johnny, awarded $10 million, blah, 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 blah. Fairfax County, Judge Penny Asgarade later reduced the punitive damages to $350. State's statutory cap or legal limit, making his damages less than $10.4 million. As for Amber's countersuit, the jury awarded the actress $2 million in compensatory damages. Both parties began the process of appealing. I don't think this article is very long. In her candid interview, Helena was also addressed the topic of cancel culture. According to the 56-year-old, she argued that you can't ban people. Do you ban a genius for their sexual practices, she asked. There would be millions of people who, if you look closely enough at their personal life, you would disqualify them. I hate cancel culture. It has become quite hysterical, and there's kind of a witch hunt and a lack of understanding. Yeah, I definitely do want to touch a little bit on the cancel culture thing because, like I said, when I was doing a little mini dive on this article, and then what else popped up? Oh no, it's the next article that has to do with cancel culture. We'll talk more about that one. A lot of the age stands are firm in their opinion. They're insistent that you would support her if you actually watch the trial, which is weird because it isn't true. You know, I honestly, wait, let me get this off here. I honestly thought that the people that were supporting her were people that did not watch the trial. And maybe it was their background experience as being a abuse victim and not being heard, maybe not being believed, that maybe they decided to, like, you know, mirror image themselves as Amber Heard. Like, oh, here's a woman who's, like, you know, speaking her truth and no one's believing her. I just thought they didn't watch the trial. But, you know, there are people who did watch the trial and they do believe her. And I really want to understand, where do they believe her, how and why, and like what are they discarding? Because I don't know what kind of life experience you can have to watch the fucking trial and still think that she was still a victim. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what, the trial showed that she was the abuser 100%. Now, there could still be some, I don't know where, evidence that, you know, maybe there's a video somewhere of, like, you know, JD doing something to Amber, but there's nothing like that. There's nothing like that out there. And even all of the evidence that they showed, you know, on Amber's team, the evidence was just very lacking. I don't know. I'm just really fucking confused. I'm trying really hard to understand, like, what the fuck did I miss? Like, did I miss something? But it was just overwhelming, like extremely overwhelming. And I think what really made people not believe her was because they didn't find her to be trustworthy. And, you know, the whole, like, donation thing was a huge chunk of that, right? And if you don't find someone as being trustworthy, then it's really hard to try to put yourself in their shoes and, you know, kind of like pity them and all that stuff. I don't know. I'm just like really, I don't know. Don't think Twitter's going to last that long, to be honest. A lot of age stands are really firm. Oh, I watched that. I watched an uncomfortable amount of the trial and then Emily D. Baker's afterwards to learn more. I was never able to side with her. Amber needs to be put on a big girl panties, pay up, and then move on. Oh my God, first time ever catching you live. Hi, Liz. How are you doing today? How's it going? Can't ban geniuses for their sexual practices. I'm not really quite sure where she was going with that quote, Aku. I'm not quite sure as well. I was like, maybe there's something, I don't know, maybe it was like a euphemism for something that I didn't really understand. Emily D. Breaker was great. Yeah, I was streaming the trial, and I was doing a lot of the content for the trial as well. So I wasn't able to get a chance to really watch anyone else's content about the trial. I think the only one that I watched was there was this YouTube channel that talked about the trial way before the trial in the US even happened. It was, oh God, I always forget the name. His name is Brian, and his avatar is the guy with the magnifying glass. I watched a lot of his stuff. I think when the trial was, in the very beginning when the trial was happening, yeah, because like their channel had the most resources. And I don't think I heard about the umbrella guy until probably maybe a little bit before he was mentioned by Elaine. I'm not quite sure, yeah. But it was the Brian guy. He had a lot of information. And I remember on his Twitter, he had like the layout of the, I think he made like a 3D layout or something of the penthouse that they were in to show that like, oh, there's no way that, one of Amber's friends was like in this area and had like 2 minutes to get to this area. It was like the whole like the phone incident thing. You liked Amber pre-trial, though I didn't know much about her. I held on to that train as long as I could, but it was pretty clear to me who was guilty when watching the trial. Yeah, I don't know. I also wonder if the people that support her, do they just have their own agenda that they're trying to push and they're just ignoring the fact that she's lied so many times? Like, I don't know. I always question what people's motives are. Hi, Frederick. How are you doing today? How's it going? But yeah, I'm so glad to see a public figure supporting Johnny Depp publicly, because I feel like a lot of people are scared too because they get like the backlash, or I don't know, maybe the bots attacking them. Like I heard something about Jamie Lee Curtis also. Something happened with Jamie Lee Curtis where she was also being attacked or something on Instagram, and then she had to like do like I forgot. She had to change, like there's a feature you have to change on Instagram, so like only your followers or your friends or something can like Incredibly Average. Yes, that's the channel. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. It like slipped my mind. Yeah, so huge shout out to that channel because I watched their stuff and it was very informative. It was that one, and there's also a Nick Wallace who was a journalist who covered the UK trial. He had a page where he like what's it called? He uploaded like the transcripts and all that stuff. H is basically married to my mom when I was growing up, which is why I couldn't believe her mannerisms, the way she told her story, the way she turned her crying off in a second.